another one, yeah. Except for one, yeah. Oh, he's another one. He's another one, yeah.
I really like that song.
It's fab, isn't it?
It is
So
super fab.
Big up to BNG, his cousin who composed it.
Damn, all the BNG cousins are just they're like the Jackson 5. I don't know how many of them, but they're like the Jacksons out here.
Between them all, they've just got so many so many different layers.
What did Shrek say? Ogres have layers. Onions have layers. The Yenge's have layers.
BNG, you're saying BNG is a troll? Come on, man. Be nice.
Come on. Be nice. Be nice.
So, Rico, now that your secret identity's been exposed by Jules of IQ Boxing News, do you want to do a Tony Stark in front of the world's media and just say who you really are?
My real name is Ben Whitaker. Big up to Tony Ellis out here. I do have a fight coming up. Obviously, I ran a poll right on my Twitter, and apparently we are twins or the same person. So I'm gonna leave it up to everybody's imagination right now. Big up to Tony Ellis. Oh,
big up, Tony. Yeah, listen, me and Rico trying to do this more regular.
Yes.
We both literally just got in, didn't we?
Mate, not even 5 minutes, bro. But do you know what it is? We love you guys so much that we just can't not do the RnR Hour every week. We literally, I don't know if anyone's seen Avatar: The Last Airbender. Rah and I bend our schedules so tightly right now that we have to, you guys show us love and support. We have to do the same thing back. And I just want to say big up to Trey, Chris, big up to Aisha as well. Everybody within our iBoxingHub family, and thank you for always chilling and rocking with us, man. We love you lot, bro. That's why we keep on trying to do this all the time. So without further ado, I shall introduce myself. Most people know me as Ben Whitaker, but everybody else knows me as RnR Boxing, with my co-host Mr. Rah Hokam of Punch Out Boxing. Rah, how are you doing?
Fab. You know what? Had a week off boxing, didn't we? It was a quiet week, and now it's about to get busy in the run into Christmas. And like everything, yeah, it's good to have a break, even from the things we love. And yeah, looking forward to it. Starting tomorrow, down in your neck of the woods, South Coast, Brighton Centre. You coming?
I should be. Well, funny enough, I actually interviewed somebody today that's actually going to be on the bill on Channel 5, live on Channel 5, by the way. Mr. Laurent Richards, Sniper the Boss, Mr. Hot Cross Buns, 1 a penny, 2 a penny himself. I managed to catch up with him in a hotel, and I just want to say big up to him, man. Been trying to chase that man down for just a private interview for quite some time, so I just want to say big up to him and all the success and luck in the world, and to everybody else on the card. First of all, I want to, as I said, big ups to Trey, big ups to Aisha, big ups to Bayaka Saka, Tony Ellis, big up to everybody right now for coming through for the RnR Hour. Like I said, Rah and I we are, as I said, making every possible effort to have a show every single week for you guys, because, well, we kind of love you. So to kick off the show, we shall be talking firstly about the card tomorrow. Shall we? Let's start with Laurent. Okay, so Laurent is obviously, he's been inactive in 2022. The man did not have a single fight. He is fighting, however, tomorrow. He's had a fight earlier on in the year. He's obviously just done the Wasserman deal. Congratulations to him. He says there's big things coming. once he gets past his man. I don't know. Did you manage to catch the weigh-in today, Ra?
I didn't. I did catch the press conference. Didn't manage to catch the weigh-in. I'm looking
That
forward to
guy.
it. I tell you, for me, Lerone, if he doesn't kick on, you've got to say he's one of the biggest wastes of talent. Because, yeah, I get it, all the whole shtick that promoters will say that, you don't talk enough, you don't knock people out enough. But look, it's still the sweet science, and he is one of the finest practitioners of it in the country. And I tell you what, we've forgotten about him. But 2 years ago, when he beat Gongora, there was an argument that he was the best super middleweight in the country, apart from the two guys who were world champions at the time, Smith and Saunders. I mean, what other British super middleweight has got a win like that? And you know what's even more frustrating? Some of his leftovers, De Carolis, he's getting another crack at the European champ, but Kevin Saggio, Saggio, 2nd of December. And this is a guy he beat at a canter a couple of years ago. So really hope Lerone can kick on now. You know what? It's like our Uncle Beat said. You know when Aaron kept saying, "Oh, Crawford is too hard to promote." It's like, man, fuck out of it. You're a promoter. That's your job. That's why you get paid your 20% or whatever of the purse, to promote. Yeah? Fucking get on with it. So, yeah, big up Wasserman. They've got him on. He's on terrestrial TV. And, promote him, because he is good. Really good. And, yeah, I think he's going to probably have to do what no one else wants to do, and that is take on one of the numerous danger men in the division. But you know what? Stick him in with someone like a Kevin Saggio or Christian and Billy. Dangerous punchers. But I think Lerone could go in against guys like that and run rings around him for 12 rounds. Yeah.
Well,
so let's hope he gets points.
Well, just to go in on that, obviously, tomorrow's contest will be at 175 pounds. I believe that he's weighed in just under 175. I believe 174 and some change. I don't want to give too much away from the interview, but obviously he will be fighting tomorrow, and there'll be another post-fight one. But I've asked him, in terms of who is he, what in terms of the weight, how well he's doing the weight. He said he can go to 168, 175 if he wants to. He says he's been chasing down the big fights. He's been doing this. He's been doing that. The management side and what have you. Well, you'll have to wait for the interview for that one. But I'm very happy for him just to see him fight. So this will be his second fight this year. I know that he wants to get one in just before the year's end if he comes through with no kicks and niggles. But sorry, Saka. I did try and get a special guest for today, but this special guest for today will hopefully be with us next week. He's huge. He is, somebody that I've interviewed numerous times now. I speak to the man every other day. So tune in for next week's RnR Hour. I'm going to plan it, and I'm going to make sure that we will get our special guest through. But just going back on the subject of Lerone, he has had a very start and stop career. He's been pro for 10 years, and I believe that he has 17 fights within the 10-year span. Now that's not a lot for somebody who's been in the game that long. To go inactive for a whole year in 2022 post-pandemic is, for somebody with his talent, is very lackluster. It's one thing, and big up Trey, my brother, man, big up. One thing that I'm hoping is that he can pick up a bit of momentum for some big fights in 2024. That's what I really want. I kind of asked him, who do you want? And he said anybody. I kind of hate it when boxers do that because it's just like, no, if that was me and I'm a boxer, I'm saying, bro, I'm like Tupac in Hit 'Em Up. I'm saying I want you, this. But obviously, Laurent is not like that. The hot cross bun man himself is, he keeps his opinions very close to his heart, and he's not very off the cuff like that. But I see a stoppage. I'll be real. I the gentleman that he's fighting, I believe that he had a win previously, 3 losses, and then a win if just off the dome. But one thing that I'm really impressed with Kalira is that he seems to be building something substantial. He's on terrestrial television, Channel 5. All the aunties, the uncles, the granddad, they're all going to be watching that, by the way. And that,
Yeah.
if we just go, we go all the way back to Chris Eubank Jr. when he made his debut on Channel 5, there was 4 million people that watched that fight. 4 million on terrestrial television, here in the UK. So it's brilliant. If there's anything that you have to add on to that, my guy.
No, like I said, he's got to make up for lost time. Now, the good thing for Laurent is his style means he doesn't take much punishment.
He's very fresh.
And his style, he is so skilled and he's got a good ring IQ. It also means he's got greater longevity because he ain't taking shots. So the fact that he's 31, I don't think that's even a factor. But he has to keep his tools sharp, so they've got to keep him fighting. I'll tell you what, though, I'm still really baffled by that decision back when he turned down the fight with Akhmedov on the Canelo undercard. I mean, listen, I know we're just fans, we're not inside the industry, but I just can't fathom that. Like, their argument was, well, Akhmedov's already been beaten by Gongora. Yeah, so what? Then it should be another easy night's work on a Canelo undercard. Mm-hmm. So his management have got some serious, got some questions to answer there, and it makes you wonder. But anyway, what's done is done. He's going to, again, like I said, he's going to have to fight some real danger men because no one's going to willingly give him a chance. I just hope the governing bodies, now that he's active again, I just hope they pick up his ranking back from where it was. At the very least, he should be getting a crack at the European title next year. Because, like I said, the guy De Carolis, who he beat, he's getting a crack at Saggio. So yeah, let's hope so. But because look, no one's going to rush to fight him, are they?
Oh no way. But I think this is where Wasserman comes in, right? In terms of the fact that Wasserman and Eddie are business partners. And in terms of the co-promotional aspect for quite a few fighters, actually. So that bridge to Terabithia, where it seems that Laurent might have burnt it, I believe that Cali and all the good gentlemen over there at Wasserman, I do believe that there's big fights waiting for him. Obviously, he can't fight the caliber of competition like he's done after this one. I don't believe so. But the plan for him is to keep busy. But a big 2024 with a big fight in the first 3 months of next year, that's exactly what that man needs, especially on an undercard, for example. If Kali can kind of swindle something on that Ben Eubank undercard come February, perfecto. And Eddie's not one. The one thing about Eddie Hearn is that Eddie where there's a deal to be had, it's okay. There's one thing about my guy. He doesn't. There's only specific fighters and scenarios where you can kind of be like, yeah, okay, fine, I'm not going to touch that fighter. Fair enough. However, to have Laurent on an undercard on Ben Eubank, DAZN pay-per-view, okay, I'll take it. I'll take it because that does add the value there, and I think that's something that we do need to keep an eye out for. Let's just say. Now, let's go to, unless there's anybody else on the card that is worth kind of highlighting within the hour.
Yeah,
Mr.
listen,
Harlem.
I think we do need to talk about some of the fights there, if we can, before we go to the main. There's a kid making his debut, Tom Welland, local lad to me, by the way. I think I was the first person to ever interview him. He's a Filipino
young boy,
descent,
isn't he, right?
British. Yeah, he's a teenager.
18, I believe.
Incidentally,
Is he 18?
Yeah, I interviewed him when he was still at school, and at the time it was the most watched video we had over at Punch Out, which shows the power of school children with social media. So, great talent. He's going to do what Jalalov's doing, and he's going to straddle the amateur and pros. He is looking to represent the Philippines at the Olympics next year. Yeah. So he's starting his pro career, but he's still looking to go to the Olympics as an amateur, because I think the rules are, you can, if you've had a certain amount of pro fights, you can still enter as an amateur. That's what Jalalov did at the last Olympics. And yeah, he's of Filipino descent. Manny Pacquiao's already bigged him up. So watch out for him. I think he's going to be a real star. So that's Tom Welland. Look out for him. And yeah, on terrestrial TV, best place to build yourself as a star.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
So yeah, look out for him. And I'm looking forward to seeing Billy Nelson's Kazakh fighter, Sultan Zalbek. Again, you know Billy Nelson really bigs his fighters up, but he came from that. Came from that Kazakh system. He's really good, and he's ranked very high with the WBA. So I'm looking to see.
I love Billy Nelson, by the way. Can I just say, like, there's so many people that don't like Billy Nelson. Billy, you're watching. I love you, mate. Okay, you are one of the funniest people on Twitter I've ever seen, bro. Like, some of the beefs that he's had are just fucking brilliant.
Billy is gold, and you know what he does? He always bigs up his fighters.
Oh,
so
Martin Bacoli was under him, wasn't he? Not anymore.
No, he's still Bacoli's.
He's still got Bacoli. Mate, I want someone to love me the way that Billy Nelson loves Martin Bacoli. I want somebody to look at me in the eyes with love, the way that man looks at him with love. Okay, shout out to Billy fucking Nelson out here, because you, sir, are worth every goddamn penny that those people are paying you. Okay, honestly, I've seen 19 comment page threads, of Billy going back and forth with Uncle from just down the road, basically calling Bacoli this and this or whatever like that. Billy's like, I'm not having none of it until the troll says no mass. Now, if anybody is on Twitter, that is unheard of. To make trolls say no mass. Now, Billy, we need some clapping sounds or some shit like that. Like, my God, that man. Bro.
Big up Billy. Big up Billy. Yeah.
Shout out to Billy, man.
Look out for Zorbek. I think in the next year or so, he'll be a threat to some of the big names at super featherweight. So yeah. You want to talk about the main event?
Oh, Mr. Harlem Eubank. He's going to be rolling through with the sheriff. He's rolling through with the sheriff, Ra.
What does the sheriff of Brighton? He looks like he wants to sabotage that biggest of big fights with his nephew. Is that what his plan is? It looks like that to me.
Well, I spoke to Connor actually about this, and I'm not going to tell you what he said. But let's just say there was a lot of laughter in terms of the fact that you're not backing your son. Your son, the fruit of your loins, bruv. Okay, you're there with next man. Okay, I don't understand how the sheriff of Rottingham, he's not from there, but just had to do that for effect. I don't understand how this link up even happened. First of all, right? I don't understand. Second of all, it's actually really good to see him all sheriffed up, all Louis Vuitton bagged up, all. It is amazing to see that man speak with the I hate the French, but the je ne sais quoi. God, I need better stuff. But yeah, it's amazing to see him up and about. I think it's fucking weird as shit that he's promoting Harlem and not his own son, considering the bag that Christopher is set to make with the one with Ben. I mean, Rod, you tell me. What's your thoughts? Because I'm a little bit confundeled.
I'm guessing Senior is. There's no doubt he's quite hurt by the fact that he's been cut loose by Junior. He needs to be involved in boxing, I think. And I think that's why Harlem has brought him in. Maybe Wasserman have recommended it because Harlem, he's not such a talker, doesn't have a real great profile like his cousin Chris does. He's got a bit of a profile, but not as big. And they thought, well, maybe that bring Chris on board. Senior, such a personality, can give him quite the boost in terms of his profile. I don't know how much about talking about that Ben fight. Is that just to get his name spoken about, or if he actually plans on pursuing it? I mean, my understanding is he's at 140. So yeah, and as you said, you spoke to Connor. I've seen a few interviews. He's poo-pooed the idea. So yeah, maybe it's just it's all good. I think Senior's been brought on for one to boost his profile, but also because he needs it. He needs to be involved. Because I think some of the issues he had with his own mental health last year, that's probably a motivating factor why they've got him involved.
I mean, it's interesting to say the least. Sorry about that. It's interesting to say the least. However, the thing is with Harlem hasn't done anything, right? It's very different from a Chris Eubank and a Harlem Eubank. Like let's just get that out of the way straight away. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that it's just been that he's been, sort of saying, don't fight my son, fight my nephew. That is wild.
Yeah.
That is fucking wild. Anyway, however, one thing that I do want from Harlem, I want him to show something special, especially being the main event tomorrow on terrestrial television. I want Harlem to I want him to give us something that you and I are talking about next week. In terms of having knockout power, in terms of skill, in terms of all of that, don't know too much about his opponent. I don't know if you do, but if he comes through without any nicks and giggles or what have you, again, I see another big 2024 for Harlem. If I was him, I'd even maybe try and get something in on an undercard in a December show, if he possibly can. But yeah, what do you reckon?
Yeah, exactly that. I mean, like I said, I think we can discount that he's going to move up to 147, despite what Senior says. He's been operating at 140. He's now, I think, on the periphery of the top rankings. Now, Schwarzkopf is not great, but he has mixed with some of the top-level guys, most notably Cattrall, who he lost on points to. So if Harlem can beat him conclusively, that'll push him up the rankings in a division which is very, very crowded. So he's gonna, as he said, he's gonna have to do something to really get people's attention. That combined with his name value, it's possible he could jump the queue for one of them titles. But yeah, I mean, how much longer is? I mean, I actually think his career's been managed well, because there was talk of him going for like Dalton Smith's British title, and I think going in with Smith at this point, that'd be dangerous.
I wouldn't recommend it right now. I'll be real. Dalton Smith will do bad things to that kid.
Exactly. So I think fighting a Schwarzkopf right now is the right sort of fight at the right time. Look impressive, like I said, then they can maybe look to maneuver him in against one of the champions. But like I said, the queue is long. Look at the people that are waiting for a crack. so yeah.
Well, listen to this, Rah. We've had a bit of breaking news. Big up to our guys Chris and big up to Trey. Boots Ennis has now been upgraded to full IBF world champion, as Crawford has been stripped. Now, I'll give my opinion on that, because I'm just going to be real and truthful. Boots Ennis has not earned that title. Boots Ennis, even though he is a world champion in name, he is not a world champion in, well, pretty much everything else. I believe that Boots, with Showtime, with Showtime and PB, with Showtime obviously coming out of boxing. I believe that with Showtime coming out of boxing, I think it's Boots needs to get his ass in gear. I'm sorry, right? I really like Boots, amazing fighter, absolutely sensational, but not the greatest performance on your last outing. Yes, he's been upgraded to IBF champion. However, it fragments the belt. Yes, I know. To be honest, Crawford is going to be fighting at 154. Okay, he is mandatory for Crawford, but the thing is like, you're not doing anything to really earn your mandatory with Crawford. Crawford is double undisputed. Okay, he absolutely sent Spencer the Gulag. Okay, in their last outing, he's going to be fighting him at 154 pounds. Right, Crawford has other things to deal with. What Boots can do now that he has this world title is clear the division, fight somebody like a Ben, for example. If Ben happens to get through Chrissy Eubank, when they're fighting, I believe that is December, right? So try and align yourself an opportunity that way. Fight somebody big at 147. It just doesn't. I hear the names Boots and I hear these names and stuff like that, and I'm sorry to go on a rant. However, you need to do something, buddy, right? That actually says to me you deserve to be a world champion. Charlo, for example, Charlo is going to be fighting Benavidez. Okay. I give Charlo the biggest amount of stick ever in front of media personalities like yourself, Rah. That man has never escaped any type of scrutiny that I have to offer him, because his career has been a whole bunch of shit, right? I don't want that for Boots Ennis, but pull finger out, get your management to now you've got a strap, make big fights. Rah, what do you think? Ben would absolutely break off of Ennis. I'm sorry, Trey. But
look, you could say the same thing about something like Shakur down at lightweight. If they're just picking up belts, I mean, this is where, to some extent, I do sympathise, because you get an undisputed champ, and in the case of Haney and Crawford, and don't get it twisted, I'm a huge fan of both. But when they sort of just hold on to the belts, and their situation is like they keep it vague. It's not like, to be fair, that someone like Charlo at 154, where he was staying in the division, or Canelo at super middleweight, he's staying there. They're keeping it vague. We don't know, what you're going to do. So they can't keep the rest of the division in limbo. As long as Crawford hasn't officially said, yeah, I'm done with 147. Of course, Boots ain't going to be seen as a real world champion. But he's been waiting a hell of a long time. It's a bit like at heavyweight, how that will they, won't they, between Usyk and Fury. It's just held up all the other contenders. I mean, Hrgovic is another guy that's been waiting like 2 years. And he, every time he thinks he's getting a crack at Usyk, they say, oh no, we're waiting now. The undisputed fight's going to get made. So I sort of understand it. And now, listen, Boots ain't going to be seen as the man. I personally think Crawford, he probably is done at 147.
Oh yeah, I think so as well.
And if he is,
luckily for Boots, by the way, because if those two fought at 147, oh my God, Crawford would put the boot into Boots.
Do you think
those boots were made for walking?
I think it'd be one of Crawford's hardest fights. But hey, anyway, I guess we'll never find out. And you know what? Crawford's earned the right to go on to bigger and better things. That's cool. But I think don't leave everyone hanging. Get that. Decide, are you going to fight Spence again? If it's at 154, great. If not, if it's at 147, do it, and then move on. Let the rest of the division, try and establish a new king once the current king's gone. And the same down at lightweight. Devin, you're holding on to 3 of the belts. For what? We know you said you can't make 135 anymore. It's like, what's that leverage for exactly? So, yeah.
I mean, obviously, Shakur was offered the fight. He's moved up. He's going to be campaigning now at 140 pounds for the foreseeable future. Thank God, by the way, because that young man should not be anywhere near 135 scale, okay? Because that's just ridiculous.
Of course not. He sailed far too close to the sun last time. And I think it was obvious that's the last time you can do 135 safely. This is cool. No one's gonna think less of you.
No, not at all.
No, young men, they develop and they move on. So well. Speaking of people that are holding up the division, it seems that Alexander Usyk has said, I was ready to go December 23rd. I believe that he probably was. However, Tyson obviously came out after getting the ass whooping of 2023. I have seen that fight multiple times. I might just watch it tonight just as I go to bed and dream sweet dreams. However, now it's set for February 23rd. Is it 23rd? I don't know. One of the 20s. There's so many 23rds just being chucked over here. Then it's in February. What do we think about the rescheduled bout between Tyson Fury, Alexander Usyk? Both men have signed it. I believe that the fight is going to happen. But whenever I say that, it's something that we just say now, just like amen or amen or what have you. What do you think about that, Rah? Oh God, I'm really
sick and
hope
tired.
It happens.
Yeah,
cool. You know how long I've been saving up for this?
Yeah.
There I was thinking, I even had my annual leave. At work the week before Christmas, you got to get in there early if you want it. I'm like telling my boss, from weeks ago, 23rd, the week leading up to that, that's my annual leave, going to the undisputed heavyweight title fight. To tell him now, sorry, I'm not going there. But February the 24th. You know what? In a way, I would rather there aren't any excuses from Team Fury. So, and as Usyk himself said, it's better let him have his recovery time. We don't want no excuses. As long as it happens, I mean, I got a feeling it's a bit like the situation with Crawford and Spence. Like, if it didn't happen at that time, I don't think it ever will. So I
Oh, no.
think if they don't get it on, for the whatever date they've now set, like if Fury or one of them gets injured again, I think the Saudis they'll probably pull the plug on it. So these guys, they're too unreliable.
Actually, do you know who you should really make? You should make Francis Ngannou versus Alexander Usyk for the true undisputed heavyweight championship of the world. Francis Ngannou in front of all of us and Christ and Mohammed and whichever other prophets that you want and that are looking down on us. Absolutely beat the brakes and the shit out of that man. He wanted to know mass. He wanted to know mass. Now, I've watched this, Raw, okay, and I'm sorry to just go on this rant right now. I've watched this fight quite a few times, and Fury didn't know what happened. Oh, who did he not know what happened? Oh my God. After the post-fight, right? Now, I saw this guy when I was in a pub, and he had a pub fight. And then after that fight, when he was getting seen by the paramedics, he looked exactly like Tyson Fury just looked. Black eye, messed up. I think he got a knockdown as well. Near the pub. I was getting my dog fruits at that time, but he got the shit broken in front of Prince Ali, Fabulous Ali Ababwa, and the rest of the sultans. Tyson Fury got the ass whipping that Cameroon, the ancestral plane of Cameroon, gave him. Now, being absolutely impartial and neutral here, I was delighted. I truly believe that Alexander Usyk and Francis Ngannou, okay, should be fighting in Riyadh season in the great kingdom of Saudi Arabia. How many pay-per-view buys do you think that will generate? No one cares about Tyson right now. Okay. What Tyson needs to do is come back and rebuild stronger, but not in February. Maybe March, not on that date for undisputed. I believe that Francis has a very strong case for the lineal title. In fact, I put my hat in there for that. I back Francis. I'm not gonna lie. However, there is one thing that I've been hearing, Ryan. I want to get your opinion on this. Is that Francis and Del Boy, Derek Chisora, that they're gonna fight?
I guess that's interesting. I mean, what is this, the December 23rd date that they're talking about?
I believe so. Yes.
All right.
Because obviously Del Boy is part of the Sultans as well. Apparently.
Apparently
he's chilling with his own tiger over there, bro. So I don't want that because I don't want bad things to happen to Derek. I love Derek. As of my fellow Zimbabwean brother, I believe that he should just retire. That's just me. Obviously, when I interviewed him the last time at the Eubank fight, he said, I have 3 more fights in me. No, wait, that was before he fought Gerald Washington. So he said he has 2 fights, and he wanted Wilder and somebody else. Thank God it's not Wilder. First of all, I'm glad that was shelled immediately. But Francis, 19 stone of pure Cameroonian alpha male-ness. I don't know about that.
Nah, I wouldn't like that. Oh, just reading, it looks like rumours are Bacoli and Makhmudov on the same day. So maybe they're planning another big heavyweight card. So, wow, I might have to save up for 2 trips to Saudi Arabia at this rate. Where am I going to get the money from?
Well, I know a couple brothers with some Dougie boats, bro. Don't worry, I'll get you that for the cheap. But obviously,
I'll tell you what though, I want that undisputed, and I want the big 4 names in the division. That is Fury, Usyk, AJ, and Wilder. The 4 of you now have your last 1 or 2 big fights against each other, and then wind it down and let this next crop, because it's obvious all 4 of them are just looking for their last big payday. I mean, that's why all these fights are just taking so long. have your last couple of big fights, get an undisputed champ established. Usyk or Fury, whoever wins, you can then say, yeah, I was the man for this era. And then call it a day and let these upcomers start the whole cycle.
I'm finished with all of them, Rah. I've got a fucking headache from every single one of these gentlemen. I'm not gonna lie, I'm so done. If you've been a real boxing fan for the past 6 to 7 years, you will have the same paracetamol pack that I do. Okay, it's called Heavyweights Are Us. All right, you pop 2 and the headache just tries to go away. Wilder, AJ. At least AJ, the one thing that I can say about Anthony Joshua is that man has fought the majority of people within this era. Okay, nobody can ever take that away from AJ. And it seems that he does have somewhat of a longevity in terms of maybe having 2-3 years left in the sport. Wilder, they talk about Wilder like they talk about Moses Ituma, Rah. They genuinely speak. Wilder literally came out in a video saying, Anthony, oh man, I really want to meet you, bro. This, that, and a third. Come, it would be such a shame if this fight didn't happen. My God, you could have had an undefeated, both of you, undisputed fight. But why? You chose to bet on yourself, bro. And the receipts are all there for all the Wilder fans that will be in my DMs and my mentions or whatever. Go and check your guys' Twitter. I'm finished with all of that.
Our colleague Jules from IQ, the man who exposed your secret identity, incidentally, he keeps posting it. The tweet where Deontay admitted he was offered more. Listen, that has got to be one of the biggest L's, and that's what I think he's desperate now. He's coming up to 40. Wants that last big payday. AJ's doing the right thing. So look, when it was offered to you, you had your chance to play the game. Bro. Yeah, so it's like you'll get it when I feel like it. So, good on him.
He's saying that Fury cheated. He said after Francis Ngannou got the Black Panther powers and had that what is it, the purple plant. Okay, he's saying now that Fury cheated definitely because Francis put the ass whooping in. Okay. You know what, Deontay, bro, I love you, my guy. I'll be real. Big up to Malik Scott. Big up to the whole team over there. You got some great people. However, it's just not true. Okay? It's just not true. So let's just move on. Try and get the fight if you can. I genuinely don't care anymore, but I'll watch it. Why? I have no life. Boxing is my life, and I probably need to get a girlfriend. So, moving on from all of those truths. We do have a card next week, that I just wanted to touch up on with you. It's the boxer card. We have Adam Azim.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have Adam Azim on the card. We have Tyler Denny. I interviewed Tyler Denny today. Big up to my guy Tyler Denny, man. If there's one human being, right, you've interviewed him, you've met him, the most pure. This is why I do what I do, just to meet people like him. Like I said to the guy, I was like, bro, so who do you want? Like, he was just like, you know what? I didn't even think I was gonna be a pro boxer anyway, and I earn good money, and I've been on a great streak, and it's finding diamonds in the rough like a Tyler Denny. I want him to be a world champion, right? I'll say it right now. I am biased as hell. What do you think about Tyler? Obviously, his opponent, he's fighting for the European.
Yeah, big up to Tyler. I kept emphasizing this and tagging the board into this. Their insane mandatory or lack of situation. Keep asking. I've asked them. As you know, the board don't reply. Fair enough. These things aren't to be discussed on social media.
That email address, even the support email address, they don't give a shit. So that's why I don't even bother. I slate them 1,000,000%.
They're sods, but as you know, he fought 6 unbeaten prospects in a row, and still get turned down. And get this, they made Hamza Shiraz the mandatory for Denzel, and he hasn't taken the fight. He fair enough. You know, and don't get me wrong, I love Hamza as a local boy, and he was the first star I interviewed, and I think he will go on to great things. But the point is, he didn't take the shot. So it's like, what are you giving mandatory shots to guys who aren't taking it? You know, Hamza's gone for that Commonwealth title fight with Liam Williams. I know he's injured now, so now it's postponed anyway. So, you know, they do things like that. And Tyler, he had the English title. What's the point in winning the English title if it doesn't then get you for the British? It's like, I mean, Clifton Mitchell, big up to him. He made this point about his fighter. He said, Harry Scarf, when he had the English title, it's like, well, what's the point in winning it? It doesn't get you closer to the next level. That surely the whole point of having different levels is that when you're proven at one, you earn the right to the next one. Mm-hmm. So anyway, I'm really glad for Tyler that his promoter's boxer took him on, because remember, they brought him in initially to get beaten by Brad Ray. So big up to Ben Shalom. At least they then gave the guy who'd earned it by winning in the ring. They took him on and pushed him to the next level that they could, which is now European. And good luck to him. I think if he wins it, you know, winning the European title puts you, I think, in the top 10, top 15. And
his opponent is ranked in the top 15. His opponent is ranked in the top 15 in 2 sanctioning bodies.
Wicked. And then, you know, the middleweight division's weaker than it's been for years. You got, you know, guys like Charlo who just don't fight for like years on end. Eventually, you never know. Someone might look at him and think, oh, he's got 2 defeats on his record. Can't be any good. If he's, you know, he's as dedicated. We know how on point he is. Stay in shape. One of these days, some world title shot, you know, someone will get injured or pop dirty and they'll need a last minute opponent. He's the sort of guy, you know, stay in shape. So, 4 weeks notice, I'll take that fight. And he could get a world title shot. And I really hope he does. He's, like you said, he's one of those, you know, one of those great Rockies type stories. You know, a guy with.
I want a biopic. If he wins his world title, like what I said this to him today. I said, if you win your world title, I want a biopic from you, bro. I don't care if we have to go to Netflix. I don't care if my subscription needs to be added on another pound, bastards. But mate, what a story! What a story! He was a plumber, right? A plumber. And the reason why he lost those fights early on is because he wasn't doing it full time. He couldn't afford to do it full time. We all know the story.
Yeah.
And now he's doing it full time. He is whooping ass on a daily. He's taken 5 scalps, 5 O's off of good level prospects. And every single time, Mr. Shalom wanted him to get beat. Tyler said, nah, not today, rude boy. Okay? Keep lighting him up. And let me get these scalps because my wall is looking kind of scalpless. That's exactly what he's trying to say. And big up to Tyler Denny, man. Oh, the guy gets me so fucking amped. I swear to God. You know, I wish nothing for the best for him.
Let's hope he. I'm confident he'll beat this Italian guy, and like you said, that puts him on the periphery of it, and then it's just a case of stay in shape, stay active, and then one of these days, someone will slip up and make a mistake.
He'll get the call up. He'll get the call up.
Yeah.
1,000,000%. Well, just obviously to end it off, we have a Mr. Speaking of somebody who's fighting for a European title, we have my fellow Slough brother, an Adam Super Kid Azim. I believe that kid is so damn special. One of the loveliest people that I have ever met, ever interviewed. You know, and he takes such an incredible stance on knife crime within the community where I grew up in Slough. You know, one of my very, 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 very good friends, Izzy, RIP Izzy, he was killed via knife crime on his birthday. And I only saw him maybe 3 or 4 days before when we went to go see a Tory Lanez concert. So, you know, just big up to his whole Stop Knife Crime initiative. You know, there's a couple of things obviously I want to say, but we'll leave it till after the Adam Azim fight, just in regards to Remembrance Day. But what a fighter, obviously not the greatest showing. I think because of the dazzling performances that he's given us, Ra, so frequently. From obviously the performance on the Chris Eubank, Liam Smith 2 card. People expected him obviously to knock him out. He didn't. He got the rounds in. Some are saying it might be due to that hand injury that he got, that he's not quite the same. I don't think so. I just think obviously, sometimes the moment kind of gets to you. But I want to know what you think, Rob. First of all, what do you think about the fight? I'm not sure if you know the opponent or not. That's absolutely fine.
Petitjean, I interviewed him. He's said he's coming to win. He's really confident. He said that he saw that Adam weren't comfortable last time out against the Ukrainian. When I spoke to Adam about it, he made the interesting point. Well, yeah, getting uncomfortable is part of the learning process. I mean, you don't get any better just being comfortable knocking people over. So, listen, every prospect's been. Was it last year? I was saying the same thing about Dalton Smith because he went the distance a couple of times. Like, I was overrated, ain't that? Again, I'm old enough to remember.
He came back with fire. He heard you. He was like, nah. He watches the RnR Hour too.
Mike Tyson on his rise up, he went back to back on points for the first time. First against Jesse Ferguson and then against Mitch Green. When he was a prospect. So every prospect eventually is going to come across a couple of guys that are awkward or stylistically it's going to take them a bit of time to work out. That's part of the learning process. Any prospect that just keeps knocking guys over, they're not learning enough. So I don't worry about that. But I think Petitjean he's a good fighter. He's a good fighter. If he can take a shot, I think Adam will have his work cut out. So I think Petitjean can teach him something. But I expect Adam to win it, and then that European title that'll put him higher up the rankings. So maybe next year, I suppose Sky are probably more likely to push him because he's been groomed to be a star since they signed him. So watch this space. But again, of course, 140, such a hard division. And
like you got killers there, man. You got killers. You got the queue is mad. In terms of just going in for next year, you got probably Shakur that's going to be moving up sometime next year. Hopefully, I can't see any difficulty with him clearing 135. You've got obviously Regis Prograis, Devin Haney, Teofimo Lopez. I mean, these names just alone. Oh my gosh. And I believe Adam has the skills to mix it up with these guys, man. These kids are so good. And just Slough biasness aside, from what I've seen from Adam and what he actually shows in terms of and what McGuigan's doing with him. McGuigan has this power, bruv. He has the draw. That man can shine you into a diamond, bro. You could be the biggest tub of lard or Scheißen, as the Germans would say, but he will literally go poof, make you into gold. And we've seen what happens with fighters that leave him.
Not
naming any names, but I think we all know who. I'll save it for next week. We'll do a proper breakdown on that card next week, I think. Then I'll name some names. But one thing I was actually going to say is that Ben is actually from Wolverhampton. You think it's a bit weird? Ben Whittaker. So he's not fighting. Why? And boxers have obviously done it with Buatsi when he went and fought in Birmingham. I see what they're kind of trying to do, but it's not working.
Listen, don't get it twisted. I love these shows going to parts of the country where we don't usually get them. Like tomorrow, for example, gonna have a trip down to Brighton. But yeah, it's got to be appropriate. You got to have hometown fighters on the card. So, I mean, I suppose Tyler is local, isn't he?
But Tyler. Isn't Tyler from where the hell Tyler from? I know that he supports
No,
Newcastle. That's
he
crazy.
supports Newcastle, but he lives.
But he's
He's
not
from
from there.
the West
He's like Birmingham like type. That accent
Yeah.
is heavy, bro. Heavy. But nah, obviously, big up to Tyler. Big up to everybody that's gonna be fighting tomorrow on the Wasserman card. As Trey has said, Adam Azim is definitely one for the future. However, we will leave the proper breakdown and prognosis for that. It's boxing, ladies and gentlemen. You know, everything happens every single day. And that's why it's the greatest show on earth, because we are we're entertained more than EastEnders, Young and the Restless, right? Whatever type of soapy that you want to think of. That's why Ra and I commit ourselves to this sport. That's why Trey and everybody else, and this is why we deliver a show for you guys that we always have so much to commentate on. I think we only spoke about 3 or 4 subjects, but my gosh, we could go. Ra and I can talk for hours and hours and hours on it. But it has been the RnR Hour. When is the next watch along? The next watch along, I will probably do one for the Newcastle card on Saturday, Tony Ellis. So I hope that I'll see you there. I believe that there's another fight that's happening on Saturday in America. I can't remember who. However, keep out for the socials. AJ with Ben Davison. Yeah, we can touch on it. AJ obviously training with Ben Davison. He has been for a number of fights while he was been in the UK. Ra, what do you think about it? There was strong rumors for a long time. I think maybe about 3 fights ago.
Yeah. It depends what they mean by training with him. If it's like, can I come to your gym and do some work and do some training? I'm okay with that. But if it's, can I come and can you show me and improve me technically, blah, blah, blah. Nah, there's got to be one coach. Yeah.
Well,
so
he is head trainer still.
Derek James is head trainer, but I mean, of course, we're not boxing coaches, so we don't know what it involves. But what's he going to do? Ben's going to show him certain moves. Then he's going to go to Texas. And when Derek James sees him doing that, is he going to say, what are you doing? Nah, we agreed you're going to move like this, so you're going to have these tactics.
Yeah.
I don't know how it works. See, like I said, if it's just, Ben, can I come and use your gym to stay in shape? Ben's like, yeah, sure, of course. Feel free. Blah, blah, blah. That's cool. But if it's
to implement your training style.
Yeah, that's no, I don't think it can work. And if that is the case, then I've got less faith that AJ is going to go on to fulfill what I thought he could. Because I thought with Derek James, I thought, okay, finally he's got his training situation sorted out. If he can give Derek a proper run at it, and I had no problem with him taking some of these duff fights like with Hellenius and Franklin. And even if he looked bad, because I thought, look, you have to look bad and make the mistakes as you're learning to get it right. And you want to make those mistakes against your Franklins and Helleniuses, not against Deontay Wilder. But if he's still mixing and matching coaches, then he's going back to the same bad situation he had when he was half with McCracken, half with Angel Fernandez, and yeah, doesn't sound good to me at all. I hope it's just a case of, because Ben's gym is not far from where he lives, Ben Davis is quite, I think he's quite strict about privacy there. So the Finchley Boxing Club, which I went to as a kid. That's like just open to the public. So maybe AJ got fed up of like whenever he's working out, people come.
Photos, this and yeah.
Maybe that's. I'm hoping it's just that he just wanted a private professional gym away from the spotlight. That's what I'm hoping it is.
I'm definitely hoping so as well. we'll leave it for what it is. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Thank you to my co-host, my favorite co-host, by the way. No favesies, but favorite co-host, Mr. Rah of Punch Out Boxing. Please go subscribe to the channel. This is myself, RK_boxing. I do spaces on Twitter. You don't know what I do. I don't need to do any more summaries. You know what Raw does. You know what we bring to the table. You know we bend our schedules like magic to try and be here for you guys and talk our talk every week. We will be having another episode next week, Thursday, unless there is an apocalypse in which I will be in my bunker. And I just want to thank everybody for coming through and rocking with us. Just very quickly, if you are in the UK, it is currently Remembrance time for all of the soldiers who fought for all of us, not to all be speaking German. So if you have a little bit of change in what and pop it into the little pot, get your poppy out. I know that we had a couple of minutes silence, but you know, I'm very, very big on these things and supporting war heroes, man, because that particular war was very, very big, regardless of, you know, what you guys think about it. But anyway, this has been Rico. It's been Rah. Rah, you got anything to say to the people, dem, before we leave?
Stay positive. Tony Ellis is saying free Palestine too.
Free
I'm
Palestine,
down with that.
definitely.
You know, there's too much
Free the
misery
babies.
and death in the world. So, you know, stay blessed, everyone, and appreciate the great lives we've got. And look out for some boxing content from me and the Rico. So, good night, all.
Good night, guys. Take care. God bless.
It's another band. All the Muslim cars now, whichever get up. I start my scars with a sweet one, please. Someone flicks me a back.